These are 7 guys that are going to break out this year that you should be buying low before. Count. Come on, get there. 7 guys. So you need to be going and getting these guys in your fantasy football leagues to make sure you win, because winning money is cool. And do us a huge favor. If you like winning money in your fantasy football leagues, make sure you are subscribed. We need your help. We need subscribers. We need likes on the videos. So if you would do those 2 things for us, it's free, both of them, and they're both super easy. Go down there and click both those buttons for us. Really, really helps support the channel. If you like the research you get here, the in-depth analysis that we're doing, please make sure you're supporting the channel. Make sure you head over to flockfantasy.com/domain. You get 30% off with our code. You get rankings, articles, databases. You get our Discord, listener leagues. And you also can get a team blueprint for your fantasy team. You get a team blueprint with the annual Mother Flocker tier. So if you go over to flockfantasy.com/domain, you choose the annual Mother Flocker tier, you will get a blueprint for your fantasy team this year. That's something you're going to want to do. It'll give you a comprehensive plan for your team and how you should be moving things around this year. And we are going to start this video, 7 breakout players, with Skyy with 2 Ys Moore.
Skyy Moore, currently going at wide receiver 48, drafted in the 2nd round by the Chiefs last year. I know that doesn't mean as much in fantasy, but it does mean a little bit for just his opportunity going into this year. So I guess it does mean a little bit for fantasy, but look, he was drafted as a bit of a project receiver. So last year, if he had any sort of expectations at all, they absolutely should have been tampered expectations, and we should have known better. He's a little guy. He's a gadget guy. And this year is going to be where he's actually going to be affiliated with the offense. He's got a year in his belt now where he's going to get more opportunity. He's going to get a lot of snap share. He's going to do more than return punts, and he's not going to muff those punts. Gifted prospect. He didn't play in a Power 5 conference. He ran a 4.41 40, 39.5% college target share.
Yeah, that's true.
In his junior year, he had 11 targets, 107 yards, 0.8 touchdowns per game, and almost a 70% catch rate as well. He was reportedly, according to the training camp hype, unguardable and a headache for the Chiefs defense and Mahomes' favorite target in training camp. How much are we really going to take out of that? Not a ton, because, I mean, how guardable can you really be in training camp when you're not allowed to touch the guy? Like, I kind of feel bad for the DBs. Slow start as a rookie. He had a 22.1% target rate when he did play, however. And Tony is always hurt. Kadarius Toney's always hurt. I would rather invest in Skyy Moore this year in fantasy. And Juju Smith-Schuster is also gone, who was a lead wide receiver in the Chiefs offense last year. So stop making fun of all of my hand motions.
Next on this list is going to be Dalton Kincaid. And Dalton Kincaid, you know, he's going as the tight end 12. We've had some discussions about Dalton Kincaid here around the studio recently.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it in the podcast.
Here's the
Go watch our podcast.
Read
it or listen to it.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Dalton Kincaid, drafted in the 1st round by the Bills, a team really in need of receiving weapons. So here's the thing. I think people think, okay, well, they needed receivers. They went and got a tight end. So it's like, that's a tight end, so he's going to play the Dawson Knox role. Until their GM went on Pat McAfee and basically said he was best lined out wide, and he was basically going to be utilized as a receiver. Now, elephant here.
Doesn't mean anything.
Here's the elephant. And by elephant, I mean in the room, like somewhere in here. Only 8 rookie tight ends since 2000 have scored 10 points per game or more in their rookie season. We get it. We know. I think Dalton Kincaid can defy those numbers if he's being used as more than just a tight end. And he will be. Spoiler alert. He was an exceptional tight end prospect by all means. He had 15.8 yards per reception in college in his 19-year-old breakout season. During his junior year, he had 8 targets, 74 yards, 0.7 touchdowns per game. That's a 73% catch rate and a 21% target share.
He's a tight end. Those are receiver numbers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
74 yards a game, man, in college. He's likely already the tight... No, I'm not. He is the tight end 1 on the Bills. He is, over Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox only had a 13% target share in 21-22. Look, I think you're going to see a lot of sets this year with the Buffalo Bills where they're both on the field. Because like they're doing in practice, like they're saying, he's going to be lined up out wide. He's going to be their second option. It's not Gabe Davis. It's not James Cook. It's Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid, more talented than those guys. Period. Yep. Hands down. No question.
I'm with you.
And this year you're going to see it. There are a couple. Honestly, there are more than one. I don't know if the other guy's on this list. There really are 3 tight ends this year that I think could do that. Maybe 4, including Michael Mayer. But with Dalton Kincaid, this is somebody that is kind of flying under the radar just because of the rookie tight end trends, and he should absolutely be on your radar. And so should the next guy.
Jayden Reed is being drafted as the wide receiver 76 right now. And, it's valid. People have concerns about Jordan Love. All that should be baked in. But Jayden Reed, not Jordan Reed, will be used by the Packers. They drafted him 219 this last year. He will likely be the slot wide receiver on the team, whether you like it or not. He's small, right? That's the role that slot wide receivers usually play. Last year, Christian Watson had 95 slot snaps. Romeo Doubs, 73 slot snaps. So it's wide open for Jayden Reed to come in and get all of them, really. Power 5 prospect in his last 2 seasons. He ran a 4.45 40. He had a 25% target share. He broke out at 18, granted, not in the Power 5, but his junior year in the Big 10, he had 8 targets per game, 79 yards, 0.8 touchdowns, and, however, he did have a 56% catch rate. But he did all that on a 26.3% target share. There are genuine concerns with Jordan Love and the Packers offense. You look at Christian Watson, you look at Romeo Doubs, but we believe Jayden Reed will have a role. He was drafted in the second round for a reason, and as late as he's going in fantasy drafts, he's absolutely worth picking up.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the next guy who's absolutely worth picking up as well is John Metchie, who's going at wide receiver 77, going back-to-back with Jayden Reed. So he's another round 2 wide receiver who was drafted last year and just super unfortunate. He was diagnosed with leukemia during his rookie season. So really, going into this year, he is a legitimate rookie. He had 0 time with the team last year. He was completely focused on beating the cancer and rehabbing and whatnot. Now he's a full go. He's ready to go. And he's honestly, debatably the first option for CJ Stroud outside of Dalton Schultz. And at Alabama, he had a 26.9% target share. And his junior year, he had 10 targets for 88 yards, 0.6 touchdowns, 72.2% catch rate, and a 23.3% target share.
Per game.
Very solid. Yeah, it's all per game. Very solid production in Alabama where, he was playing alongside Jamison Williams. And then you've got Nico Collins, who has been decent, I guess, in the horrible offense with Davis Mills over the last couple of years, but he's definitely not going to be an alpha. He's not a guy that really commands a bunch of target share, a bunch of opportunity. Last season, he had a 19% target share, 44th in yards per route run, and 47th in yards per team pass attempt. Paired with CJ Stroud, John Metchie could likely be the best weapon on the team, I believe, still with the exception of Dalton Schultz, to lead the team in targets and yards at the wide receiver position. At wide receiver 77, you're getting this guy off waivers consistently depending on the makeup of your team. So definitely a guy to keep an eye on, a guy that you could snag if your league mates don't really honestly even know who he is, really a guy that you'll want to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, the next guy on this list is going to be Marvin Mims. And with Marvin Mims, he's going as the wide receiver 72 right now in fantasy. He is, again, the 4th second-round wide receiver in this year's draft, selected at the 232 by the Broncos. With Tim Patrick injured, which did we really think like Tim Patrick and maybe KJ Hamler were going to change everything this year for the Broncos? No, but it was a depth chart thing where they're going to prioritize their veterans. Now with him injured, it really does solidify Mims as the wide receiver 3 on the team. And that's big for his rookie year potential production and what we could see out of Marvin Mims this year. As a prospect, he ran a 4.38 40. He had an 18-year-old breakout season in the Big 12. His junior year, 7 targets, 83 yards, and half a touchdown a game to go along with 59.3% catch rate, a 22% target share, and 20 yards per reception. This is a guy that both of these guys were super high on before the draft, and he honestly fits really well in Denver, if you ask me. He's probably an immediate deep threat in the Denver Broncos offense. With Sean Payton, Marvin Mims is talented enough as a player to where Sean Payton's going to find a way to utilize him. He's going to kind of build plays around his strengths as well. I think you're going to see Marvin Mims emerge over the next couple of years. However, there's probably a really good chance he's going to break out and flash this year. And because of that, we're going to buy him before he does that because we want to beat people to the punch.
And don't forget, Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton both are not known for staying consistently healthy throughout the season. Anytime that happens, Marvin Mims is definitely a prospect that you're going to want to be looking for.
Yep.
And next we have another rookie tight end on this list. And yes, we already addressed the problem with rookie tight ends, but Sam LaPorta is entering an empty Lions team when it comes to tight end. Who else is even there? Not only did they spend a second-round pick on them, which is one of the picks they got for TJ Hawkinson, essentially, Sam LaPorta is also a good prospect in his own right. He was a really good athlete at the tight end position, running a 4.59 40-yard dash, which is 91st percentile, and he's 75th percentile at least in all the rest of his workouts. So he really has a lot of upside when you're looking at the position. On a horrible Iowa offense, like a historically bad Iowa offense, if you watched any college football, Sam LaPorta averaged 8 targets, 55 yards, and a touchdown per game. That was through the whole season. Sam LaPorta essentially was the best wide receiver on, like I said, a horrible Iowa offense. When you compare that to TJ Hawkinson just a few years ago at Iowa, TJ Hawkinson averaged 5 targets per game. So not 8, 5, 58 yards and half a touchdown on a 15% target share compared to Sam LaPorta's 27% target share. So Sam LaPorta is a very good weapon in the receiving game. He's being drafted right now as tight end 18 on Underdog. And when you're looking at the Detroit offense, there's really, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, huge openings. Jamison Williams won't even be back until week 7. He has a 6-week suspension. You have Jahmyr Gibbs, but I really think Sam LaPorta is going to come in and have a chokehold on that role, and he could really outperform tight end 18, especially when you consider his upside at the tight end position.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, these are guys that that are going to break out this year. And by the way, that was only 6.
Kendre Miller. We skipped Kendre Miller.
I know.
We took Kendre Miller out. He signed.
Kendre Miller out.
Alvin Kamara got his suspension today.
Alvin Kamara's only suspended for 3 games.
Oh.
So we were going to say Kendre Miller, but now we're not going to. So again, that's only 6 breakout players. So Nathan's counting at the beginning was wrong. However, those are guys you absolutely should be drafting this year, and you should be buying them low. So make sure you're doing that. Head over to flockfantasy.com/domain. When you use our code and you select the annual Mother Flocker tier, you get one of these, and that's a team blueprint. And we can make you this for your fantasy team.
Super cool.
Give you a good idea of the strategy you should be using behind this team. So maybe some moves you should make, some waiver wire pickups that you should be making, and a good season-long plan for your team. You also get our rankings, articles, access to our Discord, and listener leagues. So lots of different perks, and I could do more, but last time you counted it was wrong, so I'm not going to keep going. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 2 things, very easy, really helps out. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.